You've invented a new alarm clock called the Rude Awakening. What does it do? It wakes you up on your days off even though you didn't set it? Lets me know in detail about my increasing debt and interest build up. Doesn't make a sound and gets you late every day. It rolls off the base while making that horrific noise Jim Carrey screamed in Dumb and Dumber while in the dog car. It keeps getting louder and doesn't stop until you put it back on the base. It sticks a moist finger-like appendage in your ear. It reads a list of everyone that's died since you fell asleep, their manner of death, and what you could have done to prevent it. Awakens you with an early 1900s insult in a British voice. Thing just throws you out of bed into a wall. A vomiting pet. It pees the bed and then sends out a blast email text tweet telling everyone that you peed the bed. So basically it forces you to play Russian roulette with 5 blanks and 1 real bullet every morning, to either wake you up or put you to sleep. Your socks get soaked at the prescribed time. Reads the president's tweets in Gilbert Gottfried's voice. It gives you wrestling legend Rick Rude's finisher, The Rude Awakening. I feel like this was a no-brainer. Plays the default iPhone alarm sound, you know, the one an hour before you actually set your alarm. Nuclear alert sound at full volume. I actually set this as my alarm for one day. It's such a violent sound, hence why it's used, that it scared the shit out of me and I never used it again. Bonus points for combining it with an invention a friend of mine used to have. The alarm clock would shoot off a little fan which would fly some random place in the room and the alarm wouldn't turn off until you found the piece and put it back. So that with the nuclear alarm sound, it doesn't matter when you actually set an alarm. It goes off whenever the fuck it feels like it. Are you going to be getting up early or are you going to be late to work? Also, to turn the alarm off you have to guess a random 20-digit code. It's a George Foreman grill that heats up then clamps onto your bare feet. It starts playing a very calm song and a whisper is telling you to wake up. You have 10 seconds to wake up, or else the music stops, and it will shout with 110 decibels, nearly harmful. A human cannot pass 99 to 100 decibels to wake up already. Quote. As all cat owners are aware, the 3 a.m. ruckus is a very real thing. A cat will haul ass around the house either trying to catch a noisy demon, or run away from an equally noisy demon. I presume it's other dimensional shit because God knows I can't see what they're chasing. They knock shit over. They chirp and meow angrily. They may even bring the ruckus into your room. Anyway, my rude awakening alarm plays that noise. Your move. Reddit. Starts reading Franz Kafka every morning. Grabs a fistful of your pubes and flings you all about the room like an empty tracksuit on a washing line. It would also randomly replace your shampoo with toothpaste and your toothpaste with shampoo. So I'm deaf and I'm subject to this regularly. My alarm is connected to a disc that I place under my mattress. The disc vibrates violently when the alarm goes off, waking me up. I've been conditioned to wake up before my alarm most days, but occasionally I'll be in the middle of REM sleep and it'll go off. Talk about a rush. Slides a suppository in your butt before you wake up and sounds a siren just as it takes effect, causing you to jump up and run to the bathroom. Plays a jump scare to get your attention, then attacks your insecurities. It gently massages a lightly moistened finger into your earhole, while playing the Jaws theme with ramping volume. Drops a bag of sand on your nuts. It starts playing a random Pornhub video through speakers loud enough for neighbors to hear. It starts every day telling the pathetic state of the world, everything wrong with the world and every which way something will go wrong, then tell you about how in about 100 years you will not matter. Almost everything you did in your life will not be remembered. Probes your anus. Goes off at random times by playing the sound of your cat throwing up. Plays complaints in a pre-recorded Karen voices. Very rude. A shotgun blast of shit. Straight to the face. Goat screaming to the tune of the national anthem of USA. And then very, very loud poop fart noises. You can either drink your coffee or have me toss it across your face. Quote, your new personal assistant, Karen. It wakes you up an hour before the time you actually have to get up. Punches you in the dick. Puts a mirror right in front of my face. Forcefully yeets you out of the bed in the morning. It's just a recording of every time Samuel L. Jackson said motherfucker played on max volume. Easy. It reminds you of all your failures as you fail to even turn it off. It'll ask you to vision problems. Before you even answer, it will say, you dumb sleepy piece of trash. You don't know this. You don't know anything. I'll call it the self-hatred setting. The next will be a sorrowful one. It plays depressing music and wakes you up with sobbing. Every 5 minutes it will cry out, why did she leave me? Until you soothingly stroke its snooze button for another 5 minutes. I'll call that one the sad sobbing drunk at 3 a.m. setting. I'm gonna stop there. I made myself sad. That clock was invented. I own one. Rude awakening clock. The snooze function swears at you and insults you until you get up. Vigorously finger blasts you. Sans loop. I heard about an alarm clock that was spring-loaded and would shoot out different shapes blocks and you had to locate them. Then place them in the correct spots for the alarm to end. Forces you to get up. Comprehend the situation. Then use problem-solving skills all before you have the chance to fall back to sleep. Tells you harsh truths you don't want to hear, but always 10 minutes before your alarm is meant to go off. It monitors your sleep cycle in order to wake you up at the worst possible moment, using loud sirens, strobe lights and violently rocking your bed. And if you haven't jumped out of your bed within 3 seconds, random splashes of ice water and electric shocks will be added to the experience. Screams, get up ya lazy cunt. Like a Harry Potter howler, but the intervals are randomly generated each time with gaps ranging from 30 seconds to 4 hours. And in order to turn it off you must scream a new insult back at it. And it will remember every insult you've ever used to turn it off. After it goes off, you have 3 minutes to terminate a nightly script which deletes a random table from your production database. Trump teabags you awake. It plays that screaming goat sound to wake you up. It generates a current of air on your face and says, I like what you did with your hair. You live alone. It makes pet retching sounds loud enough to wake you from the deepest slumber. Once you've heard your cat dog about to toss it on your bed carpet, there's no getting back to sleep. Every time you wake up late, your dog's life shortens by 1 day. Texts your mom. Tells her she failed as a parent and you never loved her. You are woken up by her calling you and crying. A man has really tight pants on that has an airbrushed image of your wife on the crotch. He stands over you and rotates his pelvis right over your head. When you wake up, he puts on his robe and walks out. It makes you think that you woke up on time. Then right as you're heading out the door it tells you that it's actually 15 minutes later, so you're hit with the rude awakening that you are actually running late. Awakes you rudely, I guess. It shouts out mean things your friends, loved ones have said about you. Plays porn slowly increasing in sound. Works well unless you live alone. It tells you in detail about one of your insecurities. It can shuffle depending on the person. Says things like, according to your emails you are 10 minutes late for your next meeting. Which sound just plausible enough to give you anxiety. It breaks a plate and shrieks. It says random things just loud enough to be heard. You were right about that mole. Look at it again. But what is the cause of that ice pick headache you keep getting? There are about 100 feet of pressurized water pipes in your walls. And any one of them, if not multiples of them, could be leaking and you have no way of knowing. And knowing that insurance will deny a water damage claim if the leak is more than 10 days old. Already invented. My cat's sitting on my chest. He weighs 20 pounds, so I can't breathe well and scratching my face until I feed him treats. Progress is to biting if I'm not on my feet in 3 seconds. Found out the hard way. Edit cat weighs 20 pounds, not my chest. reads aloud all responses to your worst comments on Reddit. It would release 20 cockerels in your bedroom and turn the light on so they crow. Randomly plays a single popular, catchy music track from between 2000 to 2010 as the alarm to wake you up. You won't be annoyed by the alarm at the time, but you will for the rest of the day, as this one random song from 10 plus years ago will most likely now stuck in your head all day long. It releases a drone with facial recognition, so that it can seek out your face to spray you with fart spray. It tells you to shut the music off and calls you a fat slobby sweat hog and tells you to turn the music back on. Nothing. So you always wake up late. It reminds you of everything you are trying to forget in all your awkward moments. Hey, remember that time? It's a speaker that screams shit in Vietnamese, German, or Arabic for all the veterans so they wake up with flashbacks. It's just your voice over and over again saying, "Dude, get up and get your shit together." Then if you hit the snooze button, all you'll hear is your car alarm going off and an angry mob yelling to turn it off. It's very programmable with many different options and sounds. It's actually a really good investment for people who have a hard time getting up in the morning because they hate their jobs. Lists all your missed opportunities and life regrets. It wakes you up and shows a time like 2 a.m. or something, so you're tricked into thinking you can sleep way longer. Then comes the rude awakening, where you realize you actually have to get up. Sends your mom a dick pic until you wake up. Starts reading out loud your private browsing history. Gunshots. It sounds like someone just unloaded a full AK-12 clip in your wall. Makes a loud farting sound while spraying a bit of skunk musk. Drops a spider on your face if you hit snooze more than 3 times. Slaps your face with a human-like hand. Then, it curses at you and makes you feel very gloomy and pessimistic. Wakes me up because I like sleeping. Instead of the buzz or noise, it's the noise of a dog about to throw up in your bed. It wakes you earlier if you fapped last night. Injects LSD in you. The alarm will narrate the most embarrassing things that happened to you that you don't want to remember. Licks the shell of my ear. Screams at you that your boyfriend is in love with his female best friend. It activates a robot that screams "wake up" and slaps me in the face. Makes you set 5 to 10 alarms, then randomly chooses one the next morning. Hitting snooze either buys you 3 minutes or 45, no way to know. Legion of puppies are let loose in the bed. Plays recordings of all the embarrassing things you have done. Drips 1 drop of lemon juice in your eye, and then when you sit up fast as hell, a pie hit you in the face. It's the sound of someone crunching and smacking on chips. SCP-735 alarm clock. Blasts mighty bosstones, then falls onto the floor. The only way to turn it off is to pick it up. Pitch it up. Pick it up. It hides before letting out a sustaining, high-pitched screech. You must find it to turn it off. And every 5 minutes it gets louder. It literally just slaps me into oblivion to wake me up in an instant.